who's returned. Apparently, this one means what they say. Still time to change your mind, you know. Save yourself from the unimaginable suffering. I was afraid you'd say that. I could have kept going to the end of the world in blissful ignorance if you hadn't come. Damn blast! Hope is such an annoying pest. It just keeps coming back. Like you. You know, Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "Death smiles at us all. The best we can do is smile back." Yes. I think I am finally... Becoming a Soul Warden is not like joining a social club or even a military order. A Soul Warden is not one who fights with their brawn or with their wit. They fight with their soul. Despair took them. There was a great war and we lost. We ran, but I was the only one to outrun that fate. Forgive me. It's been 500 years, but it still feels too soon. You will need a staff to focus the power of your soul, an Azoth staff. And by tradition, you must forge it for yourself, attune it to your soul and so forth. All rich with symbolic meaning, probably. My memory is still foggy, but it stands to reason you'll need the components first. I recall a cave on the northeast coast where we hid our valuables when we ran. Perhaps you could find an old haft there. Well now, it's been an age since I laid eyes on one of these. It brings back many memories. Not all of them painful either. Well done. You have the structural components for your Azoth staff. Now, you need an element that's a little harder to come by. Because, in order to tap into living Azoth, you need something living. Not only that, but something with vast, untapped potential. You'll need a living seed of the angry earth. It won't be easy. The angry earth are strange, unpredictable, and, well, angry. But there was a woman once, at least so she appeared, and she could commune with the angry earth. No, I'm afraid not. Our methods were somewhat cruel, but impossible now. If this woman still exists, you will find her to the north, in Everfall. I think that's where you should start.
You tread on what was once hallowed ground, human. Whatever your purpose coming here, it is misguided. Go back to your settlement. No surprise. Your kind are always speaking, never listening. That is why so few of you can hear the whispers of the angry earth. You are wasting your time and mine. What this land needs is fewer humans, time to heal, and a working Azoth fountain. This one seems to be blocked. I am quite familiar with the true meaning behind the words when humans offer to help. You have arrived at a fortunate moment, however. Our needs outweigh our distrust. The flow of Azoth that feeds this fountain comes from the caves nearby, where I suspect it has become blocked. Get it flowing again, and I will at least listen to what you have to say. Well, the fountain is running again, so you've either been blessed with good fortune, or you actually followed through. I'm curious, however, what caused the blockage? Corruption blocking the flow of Azoth through earthly passages. Impossible. There must be another explanation, but I will look into the matter myself. You have done your part, so I will hear what you came here to say. But I warn you, I have no sympathy for the plight of humans in the battle against corruption. It is not our fight. Do you even realize how much you ask? How much your kind has already taken? The angry Earth will want to know the truth. Do you plan to use this seed to fight corruption? You are honest, aren't you? Good. We loathe deceit. Perhaps on that account I will make your request. But tell me, do you know why humans fall to corruption, but the angry Earth does not? Because corruption's power feeds the ego, your kind's great weakness. Angry Earth has no ego, and that is how it offers protection. Try this tincture recipe. I believe it will help you. There now. That will afford you some protection, whether or not your request for the seed is granted. I communed with the elements while you were away, but they have not yet given an answer. Your sincerity has impressed me. That is the only reason we are still speaking, but I think it will take more than sincerity to earn the trust of the angry Earth. The Ebonbrock caverns nearby are overrun with the corrupted. While they may pose no direct threat to the angry Earth, they are a scourge on the land. That may be impossible, but be merciless. Destroy as many as you can. Look for any clues as to where else they plan to spread their pestilence. You may well have need of the tincture I taught you. I heard the cries from here, and it gave me an immense satisfaction. Are the vile corrupted planning to mine the Earth anywhere else in these parts? Impossible! The angry Earth is immune to their evil magics, though they should know this. Either way, we are grateful that your actions today have disrupted their machinations. Your request has been granted, human. You should realize that this required a sacrifice, and it's not a gift that would be given freely again. Still, you are a fine representative for humanity. I hope this seed protects you well.
It is a relief to see you return. Though my heart trembles to harbor hope again, it's too late to turn back. You were able to get a living seed of the angry Earth then. I'm not surprised. The angry Earth are not our allies by any stretch of the imagination, but you seem to have quite a knack for persuasion. For the next part of forging your staff, you must acquire one of our consecrated cross pieces. It will be tricky, however, as there are certainly none of these just lying about in an old cave. You can't. We had to melt them all down to make weapons during the last war. The good news is that you're strong and clever and can make one yourself. Silver, a not insignificant quantity either. And then, it must be forged at the Amarine Temple. It's an ancient forge we used. I even remember the glow at dusk and old Forge Master Ezra. No idea what state it's in now. The prodigal child returns, and with a shiny silver crosspiece as well. This will do nicely. Tell me... No. Old Ezra was there. He hated letting the fort go cold. Perhaps you gave him some release. While you were gone, I did a little scouting of the corrupted encampments in this region. Why this new wave of corruption has hit Eternum with such ferocity. The written word, what a marvelous invention. So much more reliable than memory. Would you like to borrow one of my books? It would be nice to have someone to discuss literature with, besides the fish. The corrupted wrath from some being they refer to as the Tempest. They worship it like some kind of god. That's something we've never encountered before. I don't know what to make of it. No. Other than maybe to give us a greater sense of urgency. But this is a momentous occasion. You are ready to forge your Azoth staff, and the Soul Wardens will soon be born anew. I cannot go. You must do this alone. It will require the sacrifice of part of your soul. Place the pieces of the staff on the ancient altar near the shattered obelisk, then brace yourself. I will be with you in spirit. Welcome back. And look at you, still as fresh as a newborn babe. Most aspiring Soul Wardens return looking at least a little pale. You must have extra soul to spare. They say that's quite a boon here on Aternum, though I think souls are a little overrated. But indeed, now that you have your staff, you can fight against the corruption as you couldn't before. You've seen the breaches, the red roiling wounds in the land that belch smoke and despair like a vent into an underworld of pure, raw torment. Your staff can close them. This staff is potent. The power of Azoth and that of a pure, willingly given soul. You should christen it. Find one of the breaches nearby, but be careful. Corruption's works are rarely left unguarded. Well done. You closed the breach. I can taste it. Corruption will not spread unchecked anymore. I'd say you were born to be a Soul Warden, if that weren't such a tragic notion. Oh yes, a side effect of the process. Like it or not, you'll be able to taste corruption soon too. Like a rotten tooth, sweet with decay, followed by an aftertaste of blood. It quite ruins dessert, I'm afraid. Don't say I didn't warn you now, but you get used to it. Sort of. There is just one more thing you need before you can be anointed as a Soul Warden. It's been so long I can hardly remember being anything else. Let's see. I do remember shivering with a bone-deep cold, feeling like I'd never be warm again. But that went away after a while. A heart gem. A vessel you'll use to encase your soul, protect it, a cold vault within your chest. And the place you'll have to go to get one is a cold vault in the earth, beneath the Amarine Temple. It was once a sacred vault, but long abandoned even during my prime. Now, an excavation. It's the only place I know to get an empty heart gem. You'll need your staff to gain entry. Good luck. Look at that! An empty heart gem almost brings a tear to my eye. Take a good look, because this thing is going to become part of you forever. A soul warden's power comes from creating distance in your soul, like a firebreak in the forest. The heart gem provides that barrier, inuring your soul against corruption. It's been so long I can hardly remember being anything else. Let's see. I do remember shivering with a bone-deep cold, feeling like I'd never be warm again. But that went away after a while. Not entirely. You can still fall to temptation or rage, but it offers protection, a buffer. Sadly, it also buffers against the taste of food, the warmth of sunlight, the love of another. Are you sure you're ready? Oh, that part is simple. Easier than it was, at least. You just have to die. Once again, I can't hold your hand, but my spirit is with you, and I will see you on the other side. Godspeed. Welcome back, Warden. You are now part of a legacy that goes back beyond the reach of history. You've done more than surrender a life. You've surrendered your own soul. I salute your sacrifice. Once upon a time, the initiation of a new soul warden was caused to party for 3 days and nights. But there's only 2 of us now. It would be a very subdued affair. Indeed. I know a place we could set a camp, and I might even have a few candidates already. But even if they become wardens, let's be honest, we won't have the forces to counter the Tempest. Ha! The armies with their colored banners? They're too busy fighting each other. Of course, you do have all those fancy leadership qualities. Perhaps you can rally them. I suppose so. I met the Covenant, I believe. Came here offering me salvation. Too late for that. They were on their way to Brightwood. Try there. Then look for me up that way at our new camp.
Oh, hello. I am Emile, Templar D'Aquitaine, or even Lieutenant Templar General, in fact. 4th Battalion. I am quite occupied at the moment, re-examining the Covenant's priorities. Should it? I am not sure. Between the Marauders, the Syndicate, Lost, it's a new enemy every day. Here in Brightwood, there are more immediate threats than the corruption, you know. I do confess, I have heard horror stories from the Great Cleave. The corrupted offensive and this Tempest. But the balance between factions is precarious. Unite! A beautiful dream. But I have no time to indulge in dreams right now. I must attend to a pressing matter. Reports of an especially foul Lost stalking Brightrest Cemetery. By yourself? That thing ate 6 initiates just yesterday. I can't stop you. If you go, just try not to despair when it kills you. The last thing we need is more Lost around here. Magnificent! Oh, I should have recognized that you are not someone to make idle promises. I suppose I am inclined to hear you out. You say the factions must unite against corruption. But under what banner? Soul Wardens. Have I heard that name somewhere before? Well, as long as these Soul Wardens do not seek territory control, the Covenant might consider a parley. Whether or not the Covenant would meet with the other factions is not a decision I can make, however. That would be my superior, Adjudicator General Carvalho. He would be at Ballard's Manor, the temporary center of operations for the 4th Battalion. I will even send word ahead to inform him of the assistance you gave us here. You have inspired me, I think. It's the truth. I am a poor liar, and I hear your point. It wouldn't do to have the Covenant absent from the battle for the soul of humanity. That's what humans do best. In times of need, we fight for one another. Oh, thank the spark you're safe. I heard news just after you departed the General's camp had fallen. It is a tremendous blow to our forces here. And even worse, it means I'm in charge. To some, it would be. But I have never really sought power over others. So much responsibility. No, I much prefer to be engaged on the front lines, in the battle itself. To be completely honest, my faith wavers at times. I see the spark clearly in you, however. Yes, I think I would follow you into battle any day. Shoot! I set myself up for that, didn't I? I will have to consider further and consult with the other Covenant officers. But I promise you this. I will at least attend your parley, if that is what you ask of me. Call me Emil. What use are titles at the end of the world? Send word of the time and location for your parley, and I will come. I hope time does not prove me a fool. Though it may have been proven already.